Okay, so now we're going to get to maybe the most important part of the Macintosh tutorial, and that's setting up a file system. I think this becomes really important because you need to know where the things you are making, where you're putting them. I can't stress this enough. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make a place for everything to live. And you can do this on the desktop. You can do this in your pictures or documents folder. I tend to do things on my external hard drive. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set up a new folder at the beginning. You're going to see that if you look here, I have everything sort of 2017, 2018, 2019. I have things sort of in date order. I also might have things like demo material or certain hard drive backups, even student backups. I also have some other things, and you'll notice that I actually put X's on things to drop them down into the bottom of this file hierarchy because, again, things are going to be alphabetized. So what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and set up a new folder for this demo. And I can do Shift-Command-N, or I can right-click, or I can go to File, New Folder. There's a bunch of different ways that I can do this. I like the keyboard shortcuts. You could even go a right-click and do a new folder there. And when it's highlighted blue, I'm just going to go ahead and hit backspace. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this 2019 Demo Tutor. Okay, so that's going to then show up here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to right click, and I'm actually going to go ahead and just so we can find it perfectly and easily all the time, I'm going to go ahead and highlight it orange. So now you're going to see this little orange tab, and so when you look at all of my files on this system, you're not going to get confused. You're just going to look for that orange one, and I like to do that anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend like that this is the hard drive that I have, the new hard drive that I just got for school. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new folder in here. And now I'm going to go ahead and make a couple different folders. So I'm going to do a all caps photo folder. I'm going to do a all caps design. Maybe I'll call this G design for graphic design. I might be taking a graphic design class. Maybe I'm going to do a new folder in here and call this, humanities through the arts. Whatever classes that I'm taking, I'm going to maybe go ahead and set things up that way. And that just sort of keeps things in order for me later on. I might even get crazy, and I might even do 2019 FA, and I could then put all of those classes that I'm taking inside of there. Maybe I'm taking a calculus class. Whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to take a calculus class this semester. And maybe I'm going to go ahead and I just want to show you that you can go ahead and you can actually go through and you can rename and you can change these things. And so I like to set this up. I'm going to go into photo now, and I'm going to go ahead and set up a few folders. I'm going to do a new folder, and I'm going to call this 2019 Schmitz L capital R. I'm also going to maybe make some folders for Photoshop files or other things that I'm going to do. So I'm going to make a new folder and call this Edit PS for Photoshop. So I can put all of those things in there. And then back here, I'm also going to do a new folder, and I'm going to call this Export. So now in my photo folder, I'm going to have maybe where I'm going to put my Lightroom catalog, where I'm going to put my edits for Photoshop, and then where I'm going to go ahead and export things to. And so let's go into this Edit Photoshop, and let's make some more folders that we're going to use. So maybe I'm going to do a, files raw folder. Maybe in here I'm going to also do a WIP or work in progress folder for things that I'm currently working on. Come back and again maybe make another one that I'm going to do X final. And I like to do an X because then it sort of puts things in order where it goes file, work in progress, final. And that's the way I'm going to work on them. The first thing might be the raw file, the work in progress, a final file. So this sort of gives me some things to work on, and maybe inside of here I'm going to be like Union Punk House because I photographed at some punk house in Union, and boom, then I know the files from that setting or from that shoot are going to be in that folder. I'm going to go back out to export now, and I'm just going to set up some things here. So I'm going to maybe do some exports where I'm going to do Digital One projects, and maybe in here I'll do A01 for assignment 1, maybe I'll do another one for A02 for assignment 2, maybe I'll come back to export and maybe do a send web, so maybe I'm going to export some files for the web, and I know that I'm going to put things in there. Maybe I'm going to export specifically for Instagram. So here's my Insta export. So everything that I'm going to put on Instagram is going to go in there. And then, maybe there's a specific thing. Maybe my aunt made me photograph my cousin's birthday, and so I'm going to be like 2019 cousin B-Day. Because now that you're good at photography, everybody's going to ask you to photograph their birthday parties. Yay. Okay, so now I've got some sort of places that I can go ahead and I can set up files. And I like to sort of keep everything organized because this is going to help me later on when I get stressed out when something is due, that I have a house for everything to live in. And it might take a little bit of time on the front end, but I think it's going to save you a lot of headaches searching for things and finding files later. So we are actually going to start moving into some of the software. We've got things set up on our hard drive, and we're going to go from there. Okay, we'll see you in the next video.